Good morning to you. You live in a shoe. I'm leaving the kennel right now as we speak. Okay. Oh shit. I'm like going up into the grass. I love that Tony has this roundabout in front of the kennel, so I can just peel out. So I went to my meeting, and then I stopped by the kennel to talk to Tanya for a little bit, because I did my live stream earlier, so I didn't do one tonight. And now I'm going home, and I have all kinds of food. I bought orzo salad, and then Mediterranean orzo salad, and I have bagels and onions, and I'm gonna make a bagel sandwich, and I have orange juice at home, and I'm so hungry. And Eric, Tanya's husband, is following me because he came there to replace lights. So you would like to know what I did today? I will tell you what I did today. My day was not very exciting. I got up at like noon, and I rolled over and freaked because I was like, we have to give PP his medicine. And Alex was like, babe, I already gave PP his medicine. He's fine. So then I fell back asleep, and all the dogs were up around us, and Alex was like, he went back to sleep. And then I woke up at like 1:45, and I said, did you ever do this? Like, this is true laziness, okay? And I don't even care, I'm gonna admit to it. And I got my phone, and I was like, what time is it? And Alex was like, 1:45. I'm like looking at it, and I had some text messages, so I like read them real quick and answered them. And then I like held onto my phone. I was like, I'm just gonna sleep for 5 more minutes. And I woke up at 3 o'clock. I woke up at 3 o'clock today. What is wrong with me? I didn't even go to bed that late last night. So I got up, and then I went and got coffee at Starbucks. I got the toasted mocha something, I don't know. It really wasn't that great. Yesterday I got the creme brulee one, and I really liked that. They're fattening and it's expensive as hell though. So I'm back to my iced coffee, I think, because I really like it better than anything else anyway. I just like to try those new drinks sometimes in the holidays, during Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas. I'm going to talk about Christmas a lot. So if you don't celebrate Christmas, I totally respect you. I'm sorry, but I celebrate Christmas, so I'll probably be talking about it a lot on here. And then, what did I do? I went and ran some errands. I went to Meijer. I had to get some things at Meijer. I got these new candle waxes that are not very strong. Don't you hate, like, if you guys are candle wax burners, don't you hate when you buy candle waxes and they're not very strong? Like, that really pisses me off. Like, I like strong smelling candle waxes. The fern ones, like, not the fern, the fir, is it fir? Anyway, the ones that smell like, what am I trying to say? I feel like pine trees, like, those smell really strong. I like those. But then I like kitchen-y smells. So the one today I got was called like something like candied, and that wasn't sesame pine cone, or cinnamon pine cones. And it's good, but it's just not super strong. And then I also got, what else did I get from Meijer? Oh, I got dog food for PB because we had to switch it to him having wet dog food. And so I got 2 different brands. Because I didn't, if you guys have a suggestion for wet dog food that's like healthy for dogs, he needs to put on a little bit of weight. The doctor was concerned that he had lost 1.8 pounds or 1.9 pounds, so in a year. So that was one of the things, we have to like get him to gain some weight. So if you have a suggestion for a wet dog food, preferably one that comes in a little container that you can just take off the thing and like put it on the floor would be great. I got him like the Beneful ones, I think, or the one, and then I got one other one to try. It was like a breakfast one, but anyway. So Alex fed him that, and he like ate it right up. PP loves it. And then he was down in the kitchen eating the dry food, and I was like, PP, we got the wet food for you because we can't eat the dry food anymore because it supposedly hurts your teeth. And he has looked up at me. He is like so back to normal. I think the pain meds have really helped him. I think he's eating again. He's drinking water, and I'm so happy. You guys, your comments were fantastic. Thank you so much. It made me so happy to read all the support that I got. You guys are amazing. You're wonderful. And I'm just so happy that we took him in when we did, and we found out what was going on, and that literally, I mean, he was back to normal within 24 hours, not even, you know? So, yeah. So then, Alex went over to Jason and Melissa's with his friend Kayla, who is a singer, and I think I've talked about her on here before and even linked her videos. Kayla and Jason are making music together. Like, he's playing the music, the background for her. She's gonna put together, she's got one album out. So Jason has a full studio in his basement because he does a lot with music, which if I ever really truly do put out this album that I joke about, which I really think about doing, it's gonna come out in 2018, available on iTunes. Then he said he would help me with it, and he wants to be part of it. He's like, do you have lyrics? I said, oh, I have all kinds of lyrics. He goes, well, I'll just put some tracks to it, and we'll have fun with it. It'll be really fun. So I'm excited about that. It was so funny because I was over there one night, and he was like, well, can you, like, sing, like, a line of a song that you have? And I go, yeah. I go, it's Pee and Peter's Bachelor Weekend. And Jason's like, da-da-da-da. I was like, oh, my God, that's so good. I want that. And he was like, and so I was like, it's Pee and Peter's Bachelor Weekend. Da-da-da-da. And I go, don't worry about us. And he's like, da-da-da-da-da. So it's going to be like this great hit of 2018. And basically it's just going to be a video of Pee and I laying in bed. Don't worry about us, because we'll be just fine. Be ready and talk or two. Da-da-da-da. So anyway, I love Sunday. Sundays are my favorite day. I have one thing I have to do tomorrow. I have like kind of a lazy week. But like, what's the day? Okay, so I have a slow day tomorrow, slow day Tuesday. Well, Tuesday I don't have anything to do except for that I have a counseling appointment with my counselor on Tuesday. And I'm going to talk to him about, like, fear of death and, like, endings, and just been thinking a lot about it lately. It's like, you know, I always think of, like, myself as, I think having a mom that died young was really hard. You know, it's like, you know, my aunt was almost 80, and my dad is 76 and, like, in perfect condition. And, am I going the wrong way, or what is going on here? I can't, what am I doing? I feel like I'm not supposed to be down here. But they didn't have anything having me not go that way. Are there cars coming behind me? Where are these people going? I want to see what they're doing. Maybe I think I'm supposed to be over there. I think I turned the wrong way. This is so confusing. What is going on? Like, I don't want to go across something that I'm not supposed to go. I don't know what I did here, you guys. Fuck it. I don't know if I was supposed to do that or not, but they don't have cones or anything set up, and they're like paving the road. This is like very confusing. What was I talking about? Oh, anyway, like I have these like fear. I think it's hard having a mom that like passed away, or anybody that passes away early, because I think that you look at your life like in response to like their age or how old they were when they died. And like I need to like get out of that being stuck of that, like, oh, I only have so many years left, or if I'm dead in a year and whatever. Like, I think it can be motivational, but at the same time it can be extremely, it's like getting to the point where it's like I get very sad about things, like thinking I don't have much time left, and I don't want to look at the world that way. You know, I was thinking about my sister-in-law, Liliana. I mean, she's like 2 years younger than I am, and she has like a 2-year-old. she's not thinking about being dead tomorrow. You know what I mean? Alex's grandma's like 88. My dad is like 77. So, I mean, if I live to be my dad, and my dad is still operating, you know, twice a week. If I live to be my dad's age, I've got, you know, 32 more years. Like, that's a long time to be sitting around going, well, am I dead yet? Am I dead yet? I could be on YouTube for another 30 years. That's crazy. Would you guys stick around with me if I was on YouTube for another 30 years? You're like, okay, we've done a year is enough. We're probably going to get bored of you soon. I think it's interesting. I do want to say this. I thought it was interesting, like, when I posted PP's video, like, it got so many views, like, right away. And it made me wonder, like, what do you guys really want to hear or see on my vlog? Like, what are the things you guys like the most? You know, do you like when I, like, show you, like, my hauls or, like, bathroom stuff that I do? Do you like, stuff just about my life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or do you like it when I'm driving around talking? Do you like a mix of all those things? Like, what do you guys like the most? Do you just, like, have you just gotten so attached to PP because he's in my videos that you really were, like, wanting to know? Like, it just was, like, it felt so good that so many people were so concerned about PP. It made me so happy. So, thank you. I only got like 3 dislikes in that video, but still, and I'm like, do I have some true haters out there that like wish death on my dog? Like, you're a really sick person if you purposely just dislike somebody's video because you have an issue with me. Like, I mean, I don't really care. 3 dislikes is nothing, but I thought, who is hitting the dislike button with somebody crying, talking about their dog? Like, seriously? Like, you're a sick person. Like, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that, like, I just don't get their gig, but I would never dislike a video of theirs if they talked about something really tragic that happened to them. Why would you do that? Like, I just don't. To be honest with you, like, a little honesty moment, but, I mean, it's not even that big of a deal, but, like, I rarely dislike videos anyway. I just don't. Like, I mean, I have to be really turned off in a video to dislike it. I just don't have enough energy. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. So then I came home and I made my videos, and then I live streamed, and then Alex came home Kayla dropped him off, and he came home, and he was like, babe, he was like, I will go upstairs and with the dogs and watch TV, and then you can live stream so you don't have to do it later. Because I was like, well, I can either live stream at like 11 o'clock or I can live stream like now. Because I wanted to really, tonight I just want to like kind of sit around and read. And he was like, yeah, just do it now. He's like, that's no problem at all. So, I did my live stream, and I had so much fun, and it was weird because there was like so many different people in there because I did it at an earlier time. So I need to start really like mixing up the times that I do it so that people that can't come on later can come on earlier. Because, yeah, I mean, I do it so we can all interact, you know? So anyway, that's, okay, so Monday I have like one thing I have to do tomorrow. I have to meet with these people for this thing that's going to end on Wednesday. And then Tuesday I don't have anything but my counseling appointment. And then Wednesday I have like, it'll probably be like a 2-hour meeting with these people. Who's calling me? Alex. Alex always uses emojis. Like, his one emoji he uses the most with me is this one. I was like, he said, going to bed, and I said, come on, almost home, and he went. I bought this new Jay Asher book today. Jay, as if we're on like a first-name basis. Jay Asher is the guy that wrote 13 Reasons Why, and then he had The Future of Us. But he has a Christmas book out. I can't remember what it's called. But I am this week doing the mini emoji-a-thon. And it's all like holiday reading. It doesn't have to be, but it's like all winter and holiday reading. I'm really excited about it. I was like, this is like a perfect time to do it. because it comes like before like the Christmas holiday, so I can get really excited about it. It starts on Wednesday and it goes to the following Wednesday, so it's perfect for me. I have like all this time to read, and so I'm like specifically like trying to pick out like what books I want to like do for it. I'm really, really excited about reading it. There's like this Dave Arnold book. Is that his name? Dave Arnold? Something Arnold. He wrote Mosquito Land. Mosquito Land is like one of my all-time favorite young adult books. It's about this girl that goes on a road trip to go back to her mom. And it takes place in the South, and she goes up north. It's fantastic. I mean, it's really a fantastic book. But anyway, he has a new book out, and I think it's called Kids of Appetite, and it takes place during the winter. So I think I'm going to read that as an audiobook. I've got to pick like 2 audiobooks to do during next week. And I'm like 2 hours almost away from being done with To Kill a Mockingbird. And, okay, I'm reading this James Patterson book, Quickie, that somebody recommended to me. And if you watch my BookTube channel, you know that I'm not a big James Patterson fan. I used to be back in the day. I used to read every single book that came out. But I just think that they're so formatted and corny that I just can't get into them anymore. But this book, I am, like, so into it. Like, I literally, like, every time I have, like, a break, I just sit down and I read, like, 10 pages. It's really that. It's, like, the writing is horrible. The dialogue is horrible. The character development, horrible. But this story is, like, really fast paced. Like, I want to find out what's going to happen. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Do you guys ever do that with books? I'm like, oh my god, I have to know what happens to this book. It's so funny. When I clean out my basement a little bit more, I'm going to do an unhaul video on my BookTube channel, which is like all these books I want to get rid of. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to take them to Half Price Books, or somebody said on my BookTube channel, they're like, taking books to Half Price Books is so easy. But I'm like kind of intimidated by it. So I'm just going to have to get over it and be like, Peter, you can do this. I don't really have anything to talk about tonight, but I guess I just don't really ever have anything to talk about. And I always just find things to talk about, you know? What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Are you so excited? It's so interesting. The other night in my live stream, I was talking about, like, what are foods you guys eat for Thanksgiving? And I think it's funny when you, like, especially in a big group like that, when you start hearing people talk, because it's like, for me, like, foods that we always have at Thanksgiving are, like, my Aunt Kathy used to always have, like, a turkey and a ham. My nose is driving me nuts all of a sudden. And then she would have, you know, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green beans, not green bean casserole, I can't stand. Green beans. What else? You know, gravy, cranberry, of course, like homemade cranberries. My Aunt Kathy did everything homemade. Certain kind of dinner rolls, and that was kind of it. And a relish tray. And I was like, is there anything else that we would have? No. And then Christmas Eve was always like beef Wellington and like scalloped potatoes and asparagus. Like a kind of fancy dinner. I don't know if you consider that a fancy dinner, but anyway, very like candlelit and dressy. And then Christmas Day, it was very similar to Thanksgiving. And then, you know, pumpkin pies, pecan pies. And my aunt always had this fantastic chocolate cake that she would get. But I was talking in my live stream about, like, what are foods that you guys get for Thanksgiving? So, like, leave it in the comment section, because people were putting stuff down there, and I was like okra, and I love okra. They were putting, like, okra and, like, cauliflower this, and, I mean, they were putting all kinds of things down there that I was like, really? That's, like, something that you have for Thanksgiving? It kind of surprised me, you know, like, all of the different things. So, I like the fact that Thanksgiving has turned into this holiday about gratitude, don't you? I think it's real nice. So maybe I'll do some special video on Thanksgiving about gratitude. Okay, I'll be back in a little while. Hello. Outfit changed. I'm in my shitty casino outfit. I didn't end up actually going last night. Lori didn't end up wanting to go, so we're going tonight instead. And she's like, I better win or my Thanksgiving will be ruined. And I said, I better win or I'm going to blame it on you. So I'm driving to get a Diet Coke right now, and then I'm going to go to the bank machine, and then I'll be up on my way up there. So I thought, well, why not vlog, Peter? While you're doing all that, you've got a couple minutes. Oh my God, do I have $1 left? I do. Because I donated money at the meeting tonight. Put my coat in the back. Oh, Lord. I was like reading these comments that I got like on my drama videos tonight. Let me, okay. The reason why the time stamping drives me crazy on my videos is because I feel like it's so ignorant. Because my videos aren't about the drama. Like, I don't know if people understand that or not, or if I'm not, like, getting that across, but it's like, my videos are meant to be very, like, shits and giggles, like a conversation that you would have with your friend, you know, all that kind of stuff. They're not meant to be these, like, serious drama videos, which I think anybody watching my videos can tell that, right, from, like, the get-go, that I'm flipping a fan. So when people come here to my video, or when people come to my drama videos and they're like, it took me 12 minutes to get into your video and blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, okay, that's kind of the point of my videos. So if you don't enjoy that, you probably won't enjoy my videos. And then what kills me is, since the majority of the people that watch my videos, not so much this one, but my main videos, are women, adult women, will say things about my voice and my behaviors. And I just want to say to those women out there, they'll say like, oh, I cannot stand your annoying voice for 2 seconds. And why do you talk like that? Blah, blah, blah. What would you say to somebody that spoke to your child that way? What would you say to somebody that spoke to your mother that way or your sibling that way? Like, where in your world is it okay to talk to somebody that way? That you think that just because you're behind a face on a comment section of a video in your pathetic world, that it's okay to talk about somebody to talk to somebody that way? What would you do if you were sitting there and somebody was talking to your child or your sister or your mother or anybody that you knew that way, your best friend? Like, that's horrible. Who talks to people that way? I don't talk to people that way. I don't talk to people that I don't talk about people that I can't stand that way. You know what I mean? Like, who is texting me? Lori, she said, don't go play my stupid dumb old-fashioned machines. Don't play by me. She's just being silly. But anyway, that was just my thoughts tonight on my videos. I was like, I mean, I'm so like, the comments, to be honest with you, like, they don't bother me at this point, but they confuse me. It's like, I don't understand where somebody, like, those are like, you're really kind of a nasty person to come to the point where you, like, are okay to say that on a video. You know what I mean? I feel like I was kind of talking about this earlier, but I don't remember what I was talking about. But I remember that I was talking about something to do with likes and dislikes. So anyway, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I came home and I made my bagel sandwich, and Alex was laying in bed with the pups, and so I laid with them. PB is like so back to normal. He's like humping Tucker and running around the bed, and now Alex is like totally terrified that he's gonna he's like, I don't even let him jump off the bed now. And PB's like trying to jump off the bed, and I'm like, well, then you need to go buy that staircase thing and don't wait 5 days, you know? Because he goes, I'm gonna go buy it, and then he didn't go buy it, and I bought the food because I said I was gonna buy the food. This is what you call marriage. If you wanted me to buy the ladder, I would have just bought the ladder, the stair step thing for PP to get on the bed. But anyway, PP's fine. And he's like, well, I don't want him hurting his neck again. So he's like lifting him, like Alex is like lifting PP real gently, and PP's like, It is such a great thing we do not have children. People are always like, you would make such great dads. And then I think, well, this is the shit that I think really defines parenthood, you know? It's not like how good do you look holding a child, or how good are you for 20 minutes with a child. It's like, how well do you handle crisis situations, or just like regular, like this is an example. So Alex goes, I want to get on a structure for PP's medication, a structured schedule. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, since I get up earlier than you in the morning, I'll just give him to him in the morning. And he said, and then he goes, okay, so here's the real conversation. Are you ready? So I said, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I'll give him to him in the morning, and then you can give him to him in the evening, because you're usually around more, like, you know, in the evenings. And I said, okay. And I said, but the vet said it didn't really matter, that it didn't have to be exactly 12 hours apart, that it was just like we could give him to him, you know, in the morning and then in the evening before we went to bed. It didn't have to be that structured. And he goes, no, I really do want it to be that structured. And I go, okay, control much? And then this one pill that we have to give Pee-Pee, like he can take like twice a day. It's like you're supposed to give him like half of it twice a day, but that was like, it's totally fine just to give him like the whole pill in the morning. And I told Alex that, and he's like, no, I went through and I cut them all up in half. I go, okay. I go, I don't even understand how you fed Pee-Pee these pills. Like, we don't have anything to, I said I was going to get those pill pockets or some cheese or whatever, and he goes, oh, I used that cheese that you had in the refrigerator. I go, oh, that cheese that's for my sandwich that I'm about to go make, that cheese in there, that Havarti $5.99 cheese, that cheese in there. He's like, yeah, there's 2 pieces left. I go, oh, okay, thanks. Do y'all fight about this kind of stuff? Like, who's gonna take Joey to soccer on Saturday? That would never be me. I would never be vouching to take anybody to any of the sports at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I don't know how parents do that. I don't know how parents do that shit and not get divorced. That's what I don't understand. I seriously would lose, I would lose it if I was like having to like get up in the weekend and take my kids to sports. They schedule that stuff so early. And you know, somebody said on my video the last time I talked about it, they said, well, the reason they do that is so that your afternoon isn't ruined. Well, I mean, I would hope not, because by then I would need a nap. I mean, and I understand it. You know, I mean, I understand the need to have soccer at 6 o'clock in the morning. No, I didn't. I turned out just fine. But I mean, I did play hockey really early in the morning, but I was going to say that made sense, but I guess it really didn't. My mom, I don't think my mom ever went to a game, a practice, anything. My dad took me to all of it. And I don't, and my parents were divorced at the time too, or separated. And so like he drove all the way from his apartment, picked me up in the morning, made sure I was up, put on all that hockey gear, and then drive out there for hockey that I couldn't stand. And because I was the biggest kid on the team, because I was like 3 years old, 2 years older than everybody else. They were like 5, I was like 7 or 8. They made me be the goalie, and I was like horrible at it. Oh my God, there's 2 cars. There's a car in each lane tonight. Here's my best advice for 2017. Stay in your own lane. Man, he got some food. Damn. 2 McChickens? 2 McDoubles? Oh,
hi, how may I help you?
Can I get a large Diet Coke?
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
109 First Window, thank you.
I feel kind of bad because you remember the other night that I was like pissed because they took the other person and said, yeah, well, that just happened, but I was the one that got to go ahead. I feel bad about that. We were talking about selfishness in my meeting tonight. And this guy was talking about, like, I made a... I was talking about how I like to be, like, selfless, but, like, I really struggle with it. And that, like, every once in a while, like, when I buy somebody, it's like, if I buy somebody a coffee behind me at Starbucks, have you ever done this? It's like to just drive off and, like, not think about it. But, like, I'm always like this. Like, did they see me buy their coffee? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, hold on a second.
Hi, lunch diet. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You don't want the receipt? You're good, right?
I'm good. She's so cute. But anyway, and so I was saying, you know, that, like, I'm a work in progress and that I'm, like, constantly, like, I try to be altruistic. You know, like, okay, so altruism is, like, doing things, like, for no, like, reward, you know, or, like, you don't tell people, like, you don't go do a good deed and then tell somebody, right? And, so then this guy was like, well, what I do is, I go through Starbucks and then I ask the people how much the order for the person, I can't even imagine doing this. He goes, I mean, it's real nice. He's like, but I thought, are we having a debate in a meeting right now? He goes, so I asked the people at the drive-thru, like, these are totally first world problems, first of all. Okay, we're talking about buying somebody a coffee at Starbucks to be nice. Like, those are first world problems. And he goes, yeah, I asked the cashier, like, how much the order is behind me, and then I take that amount of money and I put it in the tip jar. And then I was like, oh, well, that's pretty nice, isn't it? It's hard to do random acts of kindness. You would think like it would just come up all over the place, but it's like I should have just said right now to the woman at McDonald's, and it went through my head too. I should have just said the people next to me were here before me. Like I should have just said it, you know, like that would have been so easy, right? But I'm really thirsty for my Diet Coke. I'm really thirsty for my Diet. I'm not perfect, you guys. Listen, okay? I've had a shit day or two. Oh my God. This guy is by himself, and he got like 2 McDoubles, 2 McChickens, a large sweet tea. This is like Dustin Daly's order. I just totally shaded Dustin Daly. He doesn't even watch my vlog, so he doesn't know. But I'm always like, girl, what'd you get at McDonald's? He's like, 4 McDoubles. I'm like, did you get any fries? He was like, no, I can't stand their fries. I'm like, I love their fries. What's wrong with their fries? McDonald's fries are the bomb. So this is what I had for dinner. I had a bagel sandwich, a little bit of ouzo salad, well, a lot of ouzo salad, and some wheat thins, which are not, like, they're not really, like, just because it says thin, it doesn't mean it's diet food, right? I don't know why I remember this, but I was like playing a game one night with my friend Greg. He kind of turned out to be a total disaster. I feel really bad for him. It's really a sad story, but he's like 20 years older than me. And he was like one of the first people that like I met coming out, like was a really good friend to me, like gay mentor. And we were young, and we were playing some drinking game, but it was like charades or something, I don't know, and I was like, I was the one doing it, and I go, a food you eat while you're on a diet, and he goes, cottage cheese, and I was like, I don't know why, I still remember this to that day, I still remember that to this day. I'm like, every time I think of diet food, I always think of like cottage cheese because of that game. I'm always like, Greg, what? Who eats cottage cheese on a diet? My Diet Coke is right there. Can I have it, please? I don't have a sweet tea. He's filling a sweet tea. Can I have my Diet Coke? It's right there. Right there. It's right there. I can see it. Could you just hand it? I could almost... You just opened your window. I could have it. It says how to park a gas. There's directions on how to park a gas. Step 1. Could you please wait while your food is being prepared? Step 2. It will be ready. Step 3. Go to park. Something. When to park. Pull forward execution. There's all kinds of directions in there. He's hitting all kinds of buttons and all kinds of stuff. I had a large Diet Coke, dude. There will be an additional charge for extra sauces. Oh my God, I should totally go. Can I have some extra sauce with that? Would that not be so funny? He would totally not get it, and this guy is stressed. I can just totally tell.
What was your order, sir?
A large Diet Coke.
Large Diet Coke?
Thank you. Have a good one. And some extra sauces. I'm like so giggly tonight. I don't know why. McDonald's should basically sponsor me, don't you think? I can't wait till this channel blows up and I have like 10 million subscribers and people are like, I was there in the first 5,000. As if this channel's gonna ever explode. Okay, I have to go to the bank machine. I'll be right back. All right. I got my Diet Coke, got my cash. I'm ready to go to the casino. Speaking of which, I wanted to talk about, when I just said that, like, I really don't, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I would love for this channel to explode. I have so much fun doing this channel. You guys have no idea. Like, it is literally, like, sometimes my drama channel is, like, hard, because I'm like, I don't really know, like, today I almost did a magazine video. Thank God that Jeffree Star tweeted something foolish out. But, like, I almost did a magazine video today. And I'm gonna probably do one magazine video Wednesday and Thursday this week, or Thursday and Friday. I might post 2 videos each day. We'll have to see. Because I'm gonna do a Vivian and Jane video this week, And then, I don't know which day I'll post that. And then I'm also going to, I think I'm gonna call it my hungover Thanksgiving. So anyway, it'll be Jane. Jane! Oh, honey, we're gonna have to cancel Thanksgiving. I know it's supposed to bring the cranberries and the relish tray, but honey, I just don't think well, I mean, Don last night, you know, he brought out that damn fences again and took a Viagra, honey. It was a long night. Well, we're going to Naples next week, yeah, you know. So anyway, Jane, no, I hear the kids tell him I said Happy Thanksgiving. Oh no, we didn't watch Macy's Day Parade. Now, sweetie, listen, I love you, Jane. I don't know why I love doing that so much, but it's so funny to me. Anyway, but this is like, hands down, like, that channel sometimes, like, I have a hard time. My booktube channel is, like, really hard. Like, a lot of times I have to, like, really think, like, okay, like, I have to go through, I have to do some research, I have to find a book tag video that I want to do, or I have to, like, come up with a haul and kind of go through my books and, you know, decide what I want to say about them. But this channel, I just love, because I just talk and I share my life on here, and it's just so much fun, which is why I want to know, like, more of, like, what you guys would like to see on this, because it's so much fun for me to do. It really is. It's really easy. But you know what's not easy? Being pretty. So I have to put on my... Have you guys, any of you bought this? Because I talk about it. This Extreme Plump. It's like called like Dirty Laundry or something. I don't know. Melissa said she has it too. And every time I tell her, she goes, oh, from Walgreens? Literally, we've had this conversation like 5 times. Do you have a friend like this? They drive me crazy, okay? Melissa, I have like 5 friends that do this. Well, we had the conversation 5 times, but it almost kind of smells chocolatey. I don't know why. Is it chocolate flavored? But anyway, I swear to God, Melissa and I have had this conversation like 5 times. She's like, oh, I have some of that same stuff. And I'm like, really? Oh, it's this Extreme Plump. And she's like, yeah, Dirty Laundry. And I'm like, if that's what it's called. I can't see what it's called on here, you guys. Like, I mean, it is like, do you see it like glares off? And so I can't read it. Sexy Mother Pucker is what it's called. Sexy Mother. So anyway, she's like, yeah, Sexy Mother from Walgreens. And I'm like, no, sweetie, I got it at Target. I'm sure they probably have it at Walgreens too. And she's like, oh, okay. Very next conversation. Oh my God, I love that stuff so much. That Sexy Mother from Walgreens. And I'm like, no, I got it at Target. She's like, no, they only have it at Walgreens. And I'm like, no, girl, I got it at Target. She's like, do they have it at Target too? I'm like, yes, they have a whole section at Target. It was $11.99. They should also sponsor me. They won't. They should also, I'll tell you who else should sponsor me, is Yankee Candle. Because I have my Yankee car thing right here, which is ginger pumpkin, and it smells really good. And my whole car smells like ginger pumpkin right now. And I have my ginger pumpkin thing, and then I have my lip gloss, because my lip gloss be popping. And then, yeah, and then I'm going to be playing Christmas music here in just a second, so. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. I love this week. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year because it's like not as serious as Christmas. And I also think that New Year's can be a little depressing. I mean, I like New Year's, but it's kind of depressing. You know what I mean? And I always get very apprehensive about it because I just know, like, it's a shit show for me. It's amateur night. And I feel like I'm going to have to deal with a bunch of bullshit I don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? And Alex and I are thinking about if we have enough money to maybe going out of town for that weekend or 3 days or whatever it is. And if we can't, then we're going to go to this. Our friend is having a Moulin Rouge party. Oh my gosh. So anyway. So come to the Moulin Rouge party at the Pavilion on New Year's Eve. If you don't have anything to do in Indiana, I will be there. Probably not dressed like Moulin Rouge. I don't really ever dress up. You know what? Okay, there was a guy at Gaga that everybody was like, oh my God, he looks so good, he looks so good. And he had on a glitter beard just like me. And I was like, copycat. I so came up with that idea. Not. Anyway, do you guys remember that with Madonna in the Truth or Dare movie? I just remember that when she'd always go, not. I forgot about that. You're so pretty. Not. Oh my God. Do you ever think that there's like this very authentic, genuine side of us? And then for a lot of us, there's also that side that loves like Mean Girls and Madonna and Lady Gaga. I mean, I might have like 30% of that in me. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching Mean Girls the other night. It was on TV. I just can't get enough of this lip pump. I love how it makes my... This is where you know that you're an addict. Because I love how it makes my lips feel. It's like they go... tingly. In fact, the other day, I was like thinking to myself, I wonder if they have lip pumpers that are like even more intense than this. Like, that's a problem, okay? That's like when you're like bumping up your drugs. Like you're doubling, you know, the amount of pills you're taking. I'm like wanting stronger lip pump for the effect. That's a problem. This is a foolish vlog. It is, so. Tonight, not always. I feel like I've had so many serious vlogs lately, and I'm crying. I was like, I gotta have a silly night, you know. Tanya's husband came in tonight, and every time Tanya's husband stands up or sits down, he always goes, ugh, ugh, ugh. And so he was like doing that, and it's basically like, look at me. It's very attention seeking. He's so sweet. I love Eric Edler so much. He's one of my favorite people in the entire world. But he got up, Tanya and I are sitting there in her office just laughing our asses off, and he got up off the couch and goes, ugh, and I go, the mating call of Eric Edler. Ugh. Oh, and Johnny goes, yep, and it's all mine. Oh my God, we are so Roseanne. I am so Jackie, and she is so Roseanne. I really would prefer to be Roseanne, not Jackie, but in that friendship, I'm definitely Jackie. You have to know who you are. Some of you are the Mary, and some of you are the Rhodas. Yeah, I'm always the Mary, never the Rhoda. But like, that's saying that like Rhodas are bad too. Like, there was nothing wrong with Rhoda. Did you guys ever watch that show back in the day? I used to watch that with Barney Miller back to back, and this is a true story. I just realized how old I am. That Mary Tyler Moore and is she still alive? I think she passed away. Mary Tyler Moore and Barney Miller were back to back. Oh my God, I loved those shows. My dad loved Barney Miller. Welcome back. My mom and I used to always watch Welcome Back Kotter. And do you guys remember then? They had well, wait a second. Happy Days. Was Happy Days on before Welcome Back Kotter? It must have been. Because of John Travolta. Welcome back. Who played the Fonz? Why can't I think of what his name is? It wasn't John Travolta, no. John Travolta played, whatever his name is, DeFizio or whatever, in Welcome Back Kotter. I loved that show. And we would watch that and Happy Days. And then Good Times I watched growing up. Good Times. I loved that show. One of my favorites was when the bus broke down, and it was a Christmas episode. Did you guys ever see that? And there was a blizzard in Chicago. I loved that. And every time when we would drive to Chicago, because my dad did his residency at Northwestern at Passavant Hospital, but then he also did it at Cook County Hospital, and we would pass it on the way, and he would say, there's Cabrini Green, the projects. He was like, that's where Good Times was filmed. I was like, what do you mean it was filmed in there? And he would be like, that's where it took place, Peter. He's like, that's where the family in Good Times lives, over there. We would pass it like when we go in. And then years later, I saw that movie Candyman, and they went, do you remember that movie Candyman? And they went in there, and they, with Virginia Madsen. Oh my God, I loved her so much. Did you ever see the movie with Virginia Madsen? And she was like, went to a boarding school, and she was in love with this townie guy. It was called Fire with Fire or something like that. I have the VCR, I swear to you. I bought it on eBay. And so she was like at a boarding school, and she was in love with this guy that was a townie, and they got caught having this love affair, and so she was gonna run away, and they were gonna fake like they both died. Did you guys ever see that movie? It was so good. But anyway, I love Virginia Madsen. But in that movie, I'm not gonna say it again, because you know you can't say it 5 times. Is it 3 times or is it 5 times? I think it's 5 times. So I've said it twice, and I'm not saying it again. Where she and that girl are doing that sociological paper, and so they go into Cabrini Green, and they see like the people that have been killed, the and that movie was so good. I showed that to Alex because this is old. Same thing, and I showed him the original Poltergeist. He's like, this movie is so old. I'm like, it is so good. And then, of course, Love Boat, Charlie's Angels, and Fantasy Island. Those were my Saturday nights. The Newlywed Game, making whoopee with the Newlywed Game. Loved that show. Sammy Terry. I would watch Sammy Terry on Channel 4 with the little dangling spider. He's from Indiana. A lot of you guys might not know who he is, but he's basically like the male Elvira, except he dressed up like Dracula. I wonder why he didn't get as famous as Elvira. Well, I mean, he didn't have her boobs, I guess. But, yeah. When I was a little kid, I used to watch Janie, the Janie Show, and Cowboy Bob. They were on Channel 4. And my dad did plastic surgery on both of them. And I remember I heard him say to my mom in the kitchen that Janie is a real bitch. And then I didn't like Janie anymore. And one day we were watching it, and I said to my mom, I go, that Janie is a real bitch. She goes, where did you hear that? And I said, Dad said it to you in the kitchen. And she started laughing. Funny story about my cousin Caroline, my dad tells. He actually told it at my aunt's funeral. So my mom and my aunt had season tickets to Indianapolis Repertory Theater, which is like this nice theater downtown Indianapolis, and they always put on, like, I don't know, 6 major productions a year or something like that. Well, so whenever they would go to these things, my aunt and uncle and my mom and dad would go to them. This was when I was younger. And my dad said this one time, they were getting ready, so they took Caroline with them to go pick up this old lady that was a babysitter. And Caroline was sitting in the back seat. And my dad and my Uncle Dave were on the front seat, and they passed a church, and my dad said to the church, to my Uncle Dave, isn't that the church that you guys go to now? And my dad and my Uncle Dave said, I hate that goddamn place. This story cracks me up. So, anyway, so when they were on the way back, they picked up the babysitter, and they passed the same church, and Caroline looked at the church and pointed to it, and she goes, I hate that goddamn place. Oh my God. And then apparently her parents got called in sick. My uncle is, like, by no means like an alcoholic. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, obviously. I mean, I am, so I don't. But anyway, but they got called into Caroline's school because they had to draw pictures of their role models, and so Caroline drew a picture of her dad, and he was, like, asleep on the couch with a beer in his hand. Oh my God. The days of our lives. I think I'll put on more glitter. Wouldn't they love that up in the casino, for me to pull up in there with this pink trucker hat on, gutted, with this gray sweatshirt, a big beard, and glitter lip gloss. I'm here! I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. We used to chant that back in the day when we would go to, like, gay pride festivals, which were 10 times more political and less boys in skimpy underwear. And we would say, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. We're here, we're queer, get used to it. I never did like the word queer. I think because I was called a queer, I didn't like it. And I've never been a believer in taking words back and giving them power. Like, I don't like the FA words. I don't like either forms of those. I just don't. One of the things that's always very irritating to me is when, like, teenagers will say to me, like, oh, that's so, like, do you want to go see, I don't know, some movie or whatever? No, that's so gay. Oh, I'm sorry. And they always do that around me, right? Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what are you sorry for? And they're like, well, I didn't mean anything by that. And I'm like, by what? You just called a movie gay. Like, what did you mean by that? And they're like, I just meant it was stupid. It was corny. Okay. And like, I would say when I worked in treatment, I would say to them, like, so basically you're saying the movie's homosexual? Like, I don't even get into it anymore. I'm just like, whatever. A lot of adults say it now too, which I just think it's like an ignorant thing. It's like, can you just lose certain words from your vocabulary? Like, why do we have to use certain words, you know? Like, we don't. There are certain words I have never used in my life. There are words that I have used that I'm not proud of that I've used that I don't use anymore, you know? I just don't understand why we can't remain teachable and grow and learn. You know, make a commitment that you're gonna, like, just in one small way change something you do, you know? I used to throw trash out my window of my car all the time. This is a true story. And I one day decided that there's not tons of things that I can do to contribute to the environment if I'm not gonna make that my main focus. But one thing I could do is not throw trash out my window anymore. And from that day, I have never thrown trash out of the window of my car. And, you know, I think it's just like in changing behaviors like that very quickly or very slowly or whatever, but at least trying to make an attempt to do so, you know? And it's like, okay, I'm not gonna like speak poor. Like, here's one thing, like, I won't say something behind somebody's back that I wouldn't say to their face. And if I feel strongly enough about it, I mean, minus my drama channel now, but like if I feel strongly about it within a friend group or something, I typically do go out of my way and say something to them, you know? Even at the expense of, you know, like my husband rolling his eyes and it causing a fight with me and that person, just like it needs to be said, you know? Because I don't like people that talk behind each other's backs. And I call shit out when I see it too. You know, if I'm like sitting with somebody and I'm like, oh, well, they're like, oh, and you know, Judy and Sally were talking the other day and they were talking about Cindy and I just couldn't believe it. They were saying such horrible things about Cindy. And I always look at that friend and I go, well, what did you say about it? Well, I didn't say anything bad about Cindy. Oh, no. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, what did you say to them? Did you stand up for Cindy? Well, I didn't want to put myself in the middle of it. But see, you are in the middle of it because you're there and you're co-signing that bullshit, okay? When you sit by and you allow something negative to happen and you don't put your foot in the door and put your foot into the conversation or whatever and you don't stop it or say, I want no part of this. This is wrong. I don't like this. Why are you talking about somebody that way? That's horrible. Would you want her talking about you that way? No, that's not true. Or righting a wrong. Whenever you don't do that, you're co-signing their bullshit. You're saying what you are doing is okay. And I don't care for that. And I hold that person just as much accountable as the person that said it. I really do. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me about that, but listen, you know, the person, I've been bullied so much in my life, and then I would always have the one girl that would come up to me later and that would always stand there and never say anything, you know? And she would say, I'm sorry I didn't say anything, I just didn't know what to do. Well, fucking say something then. Say why you guys are picking on him. Stop. Like, that's not right, you know? I did that for people at the expense of getting my ass kicked. It's just not brain science to me. So today, I stand up for people. Because I don't think anybody deserves to be put in that spot. I think that's horrible, you know? And I think that we have to be willing to stand up and not co-sign somebody's bullshit. It's like all of this bad behavior with YouTubers like Tana Mojo and Elijah Daniel and all these people that I talk about, right? All this like negative behavior they put out there in the world. And these YouTubers don't say anything about it. In fact, they do just the opposite. They throw, like, why would a YouTuber, I'm not even going to say any names, but why would a YouTuber that has millions and millions of subscribers need to, but has never put Tana or talked about Tana in videos before, why would that person need to put Tana in videos all of a sudden, to cross-pollinate? So this is business for you. So you co-sign the bullshit that she's putting out there in the world. Well, I hope it's as loud and clear to your 20-year-old subscribers as it is to me that you're a sellout, that you don't really believe in what you say in your videos because it's all just about numbers to you. That's sad to me. That's really sad, you know, and like I've said it before, once you give your integrity away, you can never get it back. And for me, I'm somebody that when I see it clear as day what it is, I'm done. I'm like, nope, no more, I'm done. I see you for what you are. I have lost friends over the fact that I was not willing to be a willing participant in ignoring the truth of what they were putting out there in the world. But I'm sorry. I'm just not okay with all of that, you know? And a lot of shit goes by, and a lot of people, you know, like, get stepped over for jobs, and, you know, I don't know, like, get their feelings hurt, and are emotionally abused by friends, and on and on and on, because nobody stands up for them and says something about it. Well, I will. Like I said, I don't co-sign that bullshit. And my friends kind of know that, too, you know? I actually learned that from Tanya. I really learned it from Tanya. We were with somebody one night, and the girl said, I gotta tell you guys something, but don't say it, and don't repeat it. And Tanya said, then don't tell me, because I don't want to know. And she kind of looked at her, and she was like, what do you mean? And she goes, I don't know you well enough to know how you're gonna take this conversation and tell somebody else about it, so I prefer to just stay out of this conversation. She said, see, because I've had that happen before, and the woman was like, well, I mean, Tanya, like, anyway, it wasn't that big of a deal. Tanya was like, well, then we didn't need to hear it. And not that Tanya and I don't gossip. Of course we gossip, you know, but, like, I don't think we're ever hurtful in our gossip. You know, our gossip will be like this. Like, you know, like, what do you think about this? And she'll be like, I think it makes me sad, you know? Like, Tanya and I don't really gossip as much as we have discussions about people in our life, you know? And I think all of us have, like, a friend like that. I was walking into a meeting one night, and this woman that I considered a really good friend of mine was talking about me to another woman. And she said something to the effect of, like, I was out with a friend of mine. You haven't seen this friend of ours that's, like, friends with Melissa and Aaron and all of them. And I won't say her name until she's in a video, but she, like, big-breasted, incredible body, always in gorgeous dresses, very tight. I mean, she looks like a Playboy model. She's gorgeous. Physically, she's gorgeous. And she wears skimpy clothes and whatever. And there was, like, I had put a picture up on Facebook, and she and I were, like, together in it. And this girl is, like, salt of the earth. Like, I love her. She's an incredible mother. You know, on and on and on. And this girl said, or this woman that I was friends with, and I love this woman. I mean, spent weekend after weekend at this woman's house. She was saying to this other girl who I didn't really like. She said, oh, I mean, and Peter always has to throw up these pictures of him and, you know, all of these gorgeous girls, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, I never post pictures like that. Like, very rarely do I ever post pictures like that. I post pictures of me and my nephews. I post pictures of Alex and I at things. I rarely ever do, you know? And Tanya was, like, right there, and she said, well, Peter's right there. You can talk to him about it if you want to. And I go, right, what? I'm right here, what about? And Tanya goes, well, so-and-so was just telling so-and-so that you always are posting pictures of you with these. I said, what were you saying that for? She goes, I didn't say, and Tanya goes, yes, she did. I heard you. She goes, you're going to act like, she goes, Peter's one of your closest friends. Are you going to talk shit about him behind his back and act like it didn't happen? And she just looked at me. We have never been the same since. I've not gone to her house. I've not sat on her back patio. I have no desire to. She really hurt me deep. It wouldn't matter if I wanted to post 50 pictures of me with every girl in Indianapolis. That's not the point. The point is, what is that about? Like, that you need to say that behind my back? That was hurtful to me. That it wasn't even what you were saying. It was just the fact that you were saying something about me behind my back, you know? And listen, if you don't know this little rule, if you have a friend that'll talk to you about somebody behind their back, they're talking about you behind your back, just so you know that. And that has been proven to me time and time again, so. Sad, sad, sad. guys like Culture Club back in the day? Club Nouveau. Oh no, it was Club Nouveau. I loved Club Nouveau back in the day. My stepmom got me turned on to them. It's that pink album, and the three of them are on the front of it. It's like a painting, and it had Jealousy on there, and then it had, what was the other one? Dun 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 dun, Jealousy. I don't know the words at all, obviously. Anyway, go look them up. Club Nouveau. I miss them so much. All right, you guys, I'm almost to the custody. You know, win big, win big, win big. Yes, win big, win big, win big. Yes. There's these two old women that go to the casino together, and I think they split money. And Lori and I get laughing so hard because they go, win big, like that, and they never win big. And then the one woman, she brings her old lady neighbor friend with her, who is always out of her mind and has a roller set, and she's like, I always go, hey Betty, how are you? And she goes, she's like so out of it, and it's always her money. And so like she plays on one side and the other woman, Lisa, plays on the other side, and she'll go, and whenever Lisa hits real big, Lisa's like probably 10 years older than me, she'll go, don't tell Betty, I want to surprise her when we leave. And I'm like, but you know you are pocketing that money, girl. Okay, you are pocketing that money. You ain't surprising Betty with that money. Don't tell Betty, I'm gonna surprise her at the end. And Betty's like, she's so out of it. It makes me so sad. Oh my God, you guys, I could do an entire video just about casino stories. It's hilarious. All right, you guys, I love you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.